Good morning, Al Ingalls here at pressure-free.com, alingalls.com. And today the topic is tone. I think on Wednesdays, what I'm going to do is talk about the power of words, switching words, questions. Words are very powerful pressure-free tools. I teach several tools around the thoughts in our head, the words in our head, the words we speak. And they're just some of my clients' favorite tools. So in this particular episode, what I want to talk about is the tone of our voices and how the tone of our voice changes depending on whether we're in fight or flight, and how you can do some very simple things to change up your tone. If you're in sales, if you're a business owner, if you're a parent, if you're in a relationship, tone is so important. It's far more important sometimes than the words that we say, because we pick up a lot through metacommunication, and tone is one of those things. So I purposely wore this shirt because I want you to actually look at my neck for a moment. This neck didn't used to look like this, but over the past 12 years, using the pressure-free method, this has gotten much softer. It used to, I don't even know, I can't even really do it anymore. Like it used to be really, really tight and like sinewy, stringy. It's the best way to put it. And through softening the front of my body, which is something I also learned from my body coach, Leela Veronica. Leela, by the way, is coming into my pressure-free coaching program that's starting next month, the certification program to teach you how to teach pressure-free to others. So she's going to be a powerful part of that particular program, helping me, and also she's taking the program. But anyway, working with her helped this, but the biggest thing that helped it was learning to relax my abs so that the front of my body got soft. And here's the first thing that I noticed. The tone of my voice changed. The tone got more open and full and less grady, less pinched. And when your voice goes into a pinched, grady voice, sometimes higher pitched, that's a real turnoff to people. People stop listening to you. And it made so much sense as I kind of played with this idea of tone. Back when I was running the symphony in Battle Creek, we started a program for second graders that went for several years, where we brought all the second graders in the whole area to a concert together. And delightful audience, by the way. To dismiss all of those students and get them to the correct buses, I used to come out on stage at the end of the concert and basically entertain them. And here's one thing I did with them, and you can do it with me this morning. It's kind of crazy, but it's very impactful about what kind of voice you're using with your family. So just follow me here. It's three simple things. So this is my speaking voice. This is my yelling voice. This is my singing voice. Now, if you actually did that, you'll notice that sometimes when people sing, they're actually yelling. And sometimes when people are talking, they're often yelling. They're moving into a really strong voice. I heard a mother at the grocery store parking lot yesterday move into a kind of really scary voice. It actually triggered me, let alone her young child. So we move into these different voices that you have. And I encourage you to put more singing into your voice, more pitch changing. So if you're in your singing voice, between the speaking and the singing voice, it's a voice that's so much more melodious, and people will want to listen to it more. People will not be repelled by it because it's soothing. I was talking to a friend last night, and I shared how my grandmother and her sister in New Hampshire, all of us that knew them never heard those two women raise their voice. I never heard my grandmother ever raise her voice. Her voice was very melodious, She had Nova Scotian roots, and there were some interesting words that she used and phrases, and her voice was very melodious, and she never raised it to any of us grandchildren ever. And we did naughty things. Like, she never raised her voice. She had the most beautiful voice I've ever heard on the planet, and I try to emulate it, but I haven't always emulated it, and stress was the reason why. So I just want you to kind of play with this idea of what does your voice sound like? If you have a lot of vocal fry in your voice, which is something a lot of younger women have been doing for a while to try and it's like a mechanism to appear more masculine, more strong. But the grady voice actually is a real turnoff. The human ear wants to hear more melodious voice, not a grady voice. So you're actually repelling people from the thing, from getting them in on your side and convincing them of things. It's the same thing if you've ever read the book, I think it's Kahneman, Power versus Force. You want to be empowered from the inside, wide, powerful here, not tight and forceful. Tight and forceful is going to get a very different response. Where you'll see this the most is with children. If you're an educator, if you are a parent, and you move into a tighter, more forceful voice, you may cause some of those children to go into fight or flight. You may cause your own child to go into fight or flight. Now they're not even listening to you because their ears aren't working right. But also, if you go into that tight voice, they'll just start to, over time, ignore you, ignore the voice, because it's too, they don't want to go into fight or flight. So once they've heard you talk that way enough, they just stop listening. And so if communication is what you're about and you actually want to communicate, then finding that voice is really helpful. If you're an educator, or if you're ever in control and proctoring a test situation, I super encourage you to have that beautiful voice, that melodious voice, because most students, when they go into a testing situation, you know, if it says put last name first, first name last, so many students screw that up. It's because they can't hear and they can't see well. So they're not even picking up the instructions, especially if the instructor's gone into one of those forceful voices. So I want you to play with your voice and just see what you notice. Not so much what the words are, but what is your tone? What kind of tone are you projecting forward? What's happening here? We'll go deeper on words as we go through the year here on Wednesdays. But today I just want you to play with this, play with tone, and look at your neck. Your neck is going to tell you a lot. Is it really pinched and, oh, there we go. I sort of got it. I've gone so far away from it, I can't even do it anymore. But this is not the neck I used to have. And I love that I have this neck now. It feels better, it looks better, and it just really represents this more full voice that's empowered instead of trying to be forceful. So on that note, I wish you a really beautiful Wednesday, or whenever you're watching this. If you're watching on the replay, thanks so much. Feel free to share this out. If you know someone who says, you know, nobody hears me, no, I can't, I'm having trouble communicating with someone, it could simply be the tone of their voice that's causing the miscommunication. So feel free to share this out. And by the way, I always have to remember, certification program is starting next month. So if you know someone or you yourself want to learn this method, master it, and be able to teach it to others, even if you've just got a family you want to teach it to, that would be so profound. You would be changing generations of habits of reactions by changing your family culture when it comes to the stress response. That is huge. You know, it happens one person at a time or a small group at a time, but anybody who wants to have the true behind the scenes with Pressure Free and understand how to teach this to other people, it's going to be a really beautiful and great program. So just private message me and I will send you details. Have a great day. Bye.